see the stain on my top. Can you see it? If you can see the stain on my top, then apologies. But just before I filmed this, Jet spilt like a smoothie pouch all down me. And I couldn't be bothered to change. I feel like the lighting might be really weird today because apparently Storm Ophelia has blown the Sahara Desert sand over here or something. So the sun is like crazy, like Lion King red. It's very cool. Anyway, hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome to another pregnancy update. 20-week update. How the flip are we halfway through? That is mental. What's been happening? Well, I'll start off with the fun thing. We had our scan today, actually. Here's one of the photos. Oh, what a cutie. They were actually being really cute. There was one little bit where she was scanning and then the baby was just going its mouth. It was really cute. And so obviously you have the 12-week scan and then the 20-week scan. 12-week is just really quick. Well, they call it the dating scan, so it's just to basically kind of clarify when you're due. Oh, my eyes are really annoying me. I had my contact lenses in and I must have put one in a bit weirdly or with a bit of dust or something on it, so I've taken them out, so I now can't see and my eyes are like just really blah. 20-week scan. So got in and they basically just start checking kind of like head to toe that everything is in place and that everything is just as it should be. What's weird is they want to just try and keep you nice and chilled and relaxed and everything. But as they're doing checks, they don't necessarily tell you what they're doing a check for. A lot of the time it kind of seems like they're just showing you sweet little shots of your baby. So there's like one bit where she like zoomed in on the scan of like the baby's little nose and mouth, and she's like, oh look, here are your baby's lips. And then she turns to the other lady that's like taking notes and is like, yep, no cleft palate. Yes, they're like really checking for a lot of like abnormalities, but quite subtly. Check their heart. There's like 4 chambers of the heart, so they like check all those. Check their kidneys, that all the bones are in place, like the thigh bones and in the arms, their bladder, all sorts, everything. It's amazing. It's amazing how much they can see. So our cheeky little baby wasn't really playing ball and was just like curled up really tightly and like had its arms up here, and so the kind of its arm bones were making it really hard for them to see through to its heart. So I had to like try for ages and ages, and we were in there about 45 minutes. Considering a 12-week scan, you're like in and out in 20. So we were in there for 45, doing all the other checks as well, and doing some nice bigger shots for us to get nice photos and stuff, and yeah, all like the face and everything. The baby was just in this really awkward position. So then I had to kind of, obviously you're lying on your back, and I had to like bring my knees up and then like bring my pelvis up and like shake around and wiggle around and like try and get the baby to move, and it just wasn't doing it. So then in the end she sent us off. She was like, go and have a coffee, walk around a bit, get the baby moving, and then come back. So I had to go away, have a coffee, shame, and then go back. And then when we went back it was much better, and the baby had like moved its arms and was like swimming around a bit more, so then they were able to see the chambers of the heart as well. The 20-week scan is amazing and you see everything in such detail, but I remember this with Jet as well. Actually, well, so the same thing has happened both times. With Jet they couldn't see the heart properly, and then with this one they couldn't see the heart properly. She did actually say that that just can happen, but also sometimes like if your, what did she say, like if your pelvis is quite low or something, she said. So I don't know if I've got a low pelvis, seeing as it's happened twice. I feel like it's maybe something to do with me rather than the babies. But yeah, it's no big deal. It wasn't like we weren't worried or anything, because it wasn't that she couldn't find something, it was just that she wasn't able to get like a clear shot to be able to kind of tick that box. It's just, I find it a little bit uncomfortable. So we had like 45 minutes, then came back for 15 minutes. So I basically had an hour of just constantly someone like pressing down really hard on my tummy and like rubbing it around like down my pelvis and like up over my belly button and round. And you know, your tummy can just be a bit like squeamish and queasy, and well, so that isn't the nicest thing. There's nothing to be worried about and it's fine. Definitely empty your bladder. I had to go and do a wee because if you have anything in your bladder, then obviously all that pressing is a lot more uncomfortable. It's fine, it's just, yeah, it's just not the most comfortable thing ever, especially when it's for so long. So I did leave feeling slightly battered and bruised. But obviously, you're lying there looking at a screen of your baby, so that is a very, very nice distraction. And the lady was lovely. She was saying, oh, let me know if I'm pressing too hard. But then I felt bad complaining too often because she was obviously really trying to see this hard and move the baby around, and so I don't want to make her job any harder. Yeah, so that was the scan. What else 20 weeks? Oh yeah, so while we're talking about bladders, I am just needing a wee all the flipping time. Like, all the time. I think especially if I ever go from sitting to standing. I don't know if there's something to do with that change in position or something. If going from sitting to standing like shifts it, but I just need a wee all the time. Like, just even the other day, so me and Henry were leaving the house to do like a 8-minute walk into town. So I went for a wee as we were leaving home, and then halfway down on our walk, so about 4 minutes later, I had to find a restaurant to go into because I was like, if I don't go for a wee soon, I don't know what will happen. And if I sneeze, a little bit of wee will definitely come out. So that's very glamorous and very annoying. Sorry, my camera was just beeping at me saying the memory card was full. I literally can't do one of these videos without something happening and getting in the way. Thanks for the recommendations if you recommended me a bottle, by the way, on Instagram. Got myself a new bottle. Now I'm trying to keep on top of drinking enough, although I'm currently on midday and I think it's like 2:30, so got some drinking to be doing. So I still feel like I'm in that really nice stage, that middle stage, where I'm not having any sickness, not really having any cravings at the moment, feeling a lot less tired. Yeah, still feel like I'm in that nice middle stage where I feel quite normal. My bump is still pretty small, so that's not affecting me too much. Yeah, just feel like I've kind of got life back together again for a bit, which is very nice after the first stage. And I'm trying to make the most of before bump gets bigger. Last time I had SPD, which is pelvic something. I think it's something to do with your hips, like start separating or start like loosening a bit prematurely or something. Can't quite remember, but basically your hips just get incredibly sore. Standing on one leg is very painful, which sounds quite specific. You know, I don't often do like a flamingo impression, but anytime you're like getting dressed, putting your socks on, putting your trousers on, obviously you have to shift weight from one leg to another, and that really hurts. Or even walking, obviously between each step you're on one leg, and that was really painful. Or like turning over in bed. So I'm hoping I don't get that, but I'm kind of preparing myself for the fact that I will, because I don't know if it's something where if you get it once then that means you're prone to it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm just enjoying this middle stage where I don't have things like that, and I can kind of just get on with life relatively normally with just a quick toilet trip every 5 minutes. Yeah, I don't think there's really that much to update this time round. I mean, mainly it was just a scan, which was really fun. Oh yeah, obviously gender. We did not find out. We have decided to keep it a secret from ourselves as well, as in we also don't know, which was the same with Jet. With Jet, I really enjoyed not knowing. It was hard at the 20-week scan to not know. I didn't clock how hard it would be. So with Jet, at the 20-week scan, there were a lot of points where she was looking at something and she would say, oh, look away now. Like, you know, I always do that. I'm just trying to be the person on my tummy. She'd be like, oh, look away now while I look at the diaphragm or whatever in case you see something. It felt like quite a proactive choice to not find out, whereas I thought it would be the opposite, where you just don't know and then you need to ask to find out. But it felt quite hard to not find out. But then obviously once the 20-week scan's done, it's kind of taken out of your hands and you can't really find out anyway. But then actually this time round, she didn't ask us, she didn't tell us to look away. So it was actually really easy to not find out. Yeah, and then with the birth, with Jet, if you want to know all about the birth, I did a whole birth story video, which I will link below. Very YouTuber of me. Yeah, and I just loved not knowing. I just found it really magical. It was really fun because then it meant we went into hospital with like kind of 2 boys' names, 2 girls' names, and then once he was born, obviously then we knew girl or boy, and then between those 2 names we picked a name. And just I don't know, just knowing that you're just, a lot of people talk about that they like to know the sex, they can bond better and they can like kind of picture their child, but for me there's just something really magical not knowing, and there's something really magical just knowing that I'm carrying my baby and that's all that matters. It's just my child. Society can't kind of put anything onto it yet. People can't buy me loads of really pink things and really blue things and tractors or dolls, and it's just my baby, and that's all we know, that's all anyone knows. And then again when they're born even, so when Jet was born, I gave birth to him, I was in water and I picked him up and plonked him on my chest, and I didn't know, and I just held him, and it was just the most surreal feeling, just holding this little thing, just knowing that they were my baby and they were healthy and breathing. But not, I don't know, just that feeling that nothing has been put onto them yet. There's no expectations on them yet. My neighbour's just pulled up and he can see me filming, and now I feel like a right plonker. So after the scan we went for a sausage roll, actually, at a lovely local cafe, sausage roll and a smoothie, and talked about names, and I think we're down to a couple of final girls' names and a couple of final boys' names, which is really exciting. It's a couple actually that we did have on our list with Jet, and then a few new ones. I think that's it really. 20 weeks, halfway, 20-week scan. Very excited. Yeah, anyway, thank you so much for watching. Do comment below. I'd love to know if you're pregnant as well, how far along you are. If you are doing pregnancy update videos, I'd love to see them. And we will see you soon. Lots of love. Peace out.